Good morning and welcome to the Media Speaks live Saturday morning news show. Whoa, Saturday afternoon news show that you can watch later on at night or on a different date even, because this live broadcast will then be put on YouTube. You can go watch it anytime. You can catch up during the week. We have a lot to talk about. Usually what we do is we cover what's happened the past week since our last show last Saturday. I'm DLAKE for PREZ, David Lake, and I'm joined by my co-reporter, Sam I.B. DiGangi, Sam of the Correct Views, and the band passing time, Samuel.
Greetings, unsettled souls, and welcome to the correct views. Welcome to the Saturday edition. I'll tell you what, everyone, in case you can't tell by the way I did this announcement, I am sick as hell. And why am I out here? As you can hear, it's my birthday. Monday, actually. Celebrating today. I'm sick.
Say it's your birthday. Dun, 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 dun.
Got up doing the show. Why, friends? Because we have things that matter. We have a world going in 50 directions. I'm a New England Patriots fan. I hope they do great. Guess what? There's bigger fish to fry. DLAKE, what you got?
Well, the East Coast is definitely going through a lot right now. With massive
in winter, yes, they call that news. Ain't that great?
Yeah, it's called the weather. Okay, massive snowing and blizzarding. But what I had for today was Trump winning, Hillary losing. It's been a big week as we approach. I think we're 9 days out from February 1st, which is the early Iowa caucuses. They're rapidly approaching, and numbers favor Trump and Sanders in their respective parties. The establishment is freaking out all over the place. Mainstream media news pundits, their heads are exploding left and right. Sam, would you agree with that assessment?
Oh, yeah. Oh, in every way. I think Trump's going to do much better than people think that he was going to do. He's going to do it.
Donald Trump's surge continues in every major poll. The Drudge Report had a super poll this week that included every candidate from the Democrats and Republicans. Donald Trump was number one. Bernie Sanders, after a surge near the end, came in second place. Hillary Clinton was way down in the tubes, only beating Rick Santorum and Martin O'Malley. She was even above Clinton was Jeb Bush, Jeb, with the exclamation point. Now, did you know that? Do you know? No. Pop quiz, hot shot.
Jeb beat Hillary? Is that what
I'm sorry, what? Yeah, Jeb beat Hillary by they were both way down at the bottom, but yes, in the bottom.
I don't know. I'm happy about that or not. That frightens me as much. They're both cancer.
They're way down at the bottom, and Trump is way up at the top. Cruz, I believe, was third, and Rand Paul was number 4 on that Drudge Super Poll. Everyone go check that out if you have a chance. This week, Donald Trump was endorsed by former Alaska Governor Sarah Palin in a shock endorsement, you could call it, because she had previously endorsed candidates for Senate, such as Ted Cruz, who did not get the Sarah Palin endorsement, and he was a little broken up about it. He tried to play it cool, like, hey, she supported me in the past. I wouldn't be here without her, but she can do whatever she wants in 2016. Well, how nice of you, Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz, who looks like he's panicking lately as his lead shrinks in Iowa. He had a temporary lead in a couple polls, like the Des Moines Register, which those polls were polling people that had caucused before. So these are people that have been through the caucus process before. But there is a lot of anticipation and speculation, I should say, that Donald Trump is going to bring out a massive wave of people that have never caucused before in Iowa to do exactly that and write his name, Trump, on the piece of paper. If they stood out in the cold for hours to hear him speak at a rally, don't you think they would go to their caucuses, be there at 6:30 like they're supposed to be, get it done in under an hour, and then go hit up the local steakhouse for a nice dinner? Sam, how do you feel about it?
I think that what's happening with Cruz is regular listeners to our Saturday show will likely remember Anthony Court, and was the first when he was still with us to say that he didn't trust Cruz's banker. I didn't read much into it because how many years have we been listening to people attack Alex Jones' wife, ex-wife, I guess now, just because she was Jewish? And I've never seen the kind of hate.
Whoa. Alex Jones got a divorce?
I believe so.
I have not heard that. I don't know if that's right.
I remember how much hatred he got about his wife and how that's all you heard about. Jewish. It made me sick. And first of all, just because you fall in love with someone doesn't mean you accept everything they do. I wasn't giving Cruz much grief over his banker ties because he wasn't using them. Now that he has begun to use them, Cruz, and I like Cruz. I've always liked Cruz and Rand. I was kind of hoping that they would run together on the ticket. But Cruz has pretty much lost my vote over this. Not because he forgot to disclose it. I don't care about that. I don't think he did it on purpose. He disclosed it once. I think Trump was stabbing at him for no reason, to tell you the truth. And I'm supporting Trump more than Cruz, but I'll be honest. Trump didn't need to do that. That was a below-the-belt hit. It was a simple mistake, and Trump knew that. However, it bothers me that he took it. And I think a lot of people listening to this would be inclined to agree with
that. I'm sorry, Sam. I went off on a Google search there. I didn't realize that Alex Jones got divorced. That doesn't seem right.
Yeah, people are hounding him about it. And I'm sorry, Jones isn't perfect. But the hate he gets for no reason.
Is that a true story? Because the sites that are coming up are really suspicious. I mean, the first one is Daily Stormer, the Jew-hating website that's like, he divorces your bitch wife.
No, Dan Bidandi did an interview with some guy that was hating on Alex about it.
Huh.
Now, whether or not they got their shit together and worked it out, I mean, you've been married, I'm married. We all know that happens. That could have happened. But I do know that he was going through a divorce.
He's very pro.
The specifics on it, I don't know because I avoided it. I thought it was tabloidy, and I didn't like to see Alex dragged through the mud. If someone has an honest disagreement with the man, then by all means say it. But to say, I'm happy he's divorcing his little Jewish whore wife, that is uncalled for, and that is crappy. And
yeah. And I don't like it and find it kind of weirdly suspicious that that's the first link that comes up. I don't know if this is a real story. I do know that he's a family man. He talks about family values on his InfoWars program. This just speaking of InfoWars and trying to bring it back to what we were talking about. Did you see the new reporter guy? I think his name is Richard Reeves. I mean, he's new to being on air, but he's been with InfoWars for quite a long time. I don't know if he had an affair with Alex's wife or what's going on with that, but now he's a reporter.
Alex is with McAdoo, but I don't believe that either. And again, it's tabloidy. I think it's just mind rot.
Well, I'm trying to get away from that, and I'm trying to get away from that and get to the reporter was at a Hillary Clinton event this week and questioned Hillary about facts that former Secret Service guy, Dan Bongino, you know that guy? And he worked details on several presidential administrations. And now he's retired from the Secret Service and does news commentary and stuff, Dan Bongino. And he was stating that Hillary, the Clintons, she knew that her private email server was hacked, but yet she continued to use it. And she's having a hell of a lot of problems with her emails this week, Sam. I don't know if you know about the Inspector General that came out and said that there were emails that were not only top secret, but SAP, special access programs, a classification above top secret, and human intelligence specified emails that Hillary said in her book Hard Choices. You have to read that shit like with a blanket over your head in the dark, like you're in a tent when you're a little kid, and read that email and no one else can see it. Do you remember playing with a flashlight under the blanket when you were a little kid, Sam? Go ahead.
I hear she's using a tin can of a string today.
Yeah, and tie a string to a tin can so no one knows. But when you put your email on a .com in a private server in the basement of your home,
in the bathroom.
Also this week, it's very vulnerable to the Chinese. You know, the who else, man? The Russians, the fucking, I don't know, the Syrians maybe, or Iranians. You put our American communications at risk and our security at risk, Hillary Clinton. And how long is this fucking investigation going to take, Sam? Well, I'll tell you what, the storms on the East Coast and in Washington, D.C., the State Department just went to the judge and said, these storms are making it very difficult for us to put out all the final emails according to the judge's ruling that they have to come out at a certain time. They're supposed to come out January 29th, days before the first voting. And then now they're saying because of the storm and because of waiting to get the shit back from someone else, now we're asking the judge, hey, judge, can we push back the final email release until after the first 4 voting states? Or well, let's not make it political. Let's just say, can we release them a month later? And then you put the judge in a fucking position to be like, I can't make this political, but it's becoming political. The timing. Sam.
I think that this is smart. She's going to go ahead and drag this out for a very long time. She's going to make sure that this looks like something that they're hounding her with, that she's a victim. She's going to use her lawyers to file extensions and then say that they've been hounding her for months. I spent a lot of time looking at Hillary Clinton. She's sneaky like that, and she'll get away with it.
It's the vast right-wing conspiracy, Sam. And the Inspector General, appointed by Obama and confirmed by a Democratic Senate unanimously, she's saying is now working with the Republicans as part of a vast right-wing conspiracy, Sam.
That's been her saying forever. And the trouble with her is that she thinks that she has the ability to speak that her husband does, and that she can come up with these ridiculous things and that everybody's going to believe her because they always did. America fell out of love with Hillary during Benghazi. That's when America lost interest in Hillary.
And she hasn't had time apparently to watch the movie 13 Hours, even though they cut any reference to her out of the movie. She's like, oh, I had to testify for 11 hours at the Benghazi hearings. Well, bitch, we all work 8 hours a day, plus sometimes more than that. So you're stupid. A fucking 1 day, 11 hour is like, oh, 11 whole fucking hours out of one whole fucking day? Oh, wow, you really put up such, that must have taken at least 11 hours of your time. And considering 3 out of those 11 hours was fucking taking a break and a bathroom break for an hour.
I think the one thing...
Sam, how long does it take for the FBI to fucking search that server and find the fucking smoking gun? There's already been like 5 smoking guns. And like, when do we start the prosecution? When do we indict? After she's already won a bunch of states? Look, Bernie Sanders has like a 20-point lead in New Hampshire. He's gaining on her in Iowa, almost eclipsing her. And young voters are coming out in droves for the oldest guy in the race, Bernie Sanders, and not Hillary Clinton. And I just read an article this morning about Hillary's losing the women. She cannot get the women. Sanders is getting the young women, the attractive ones.
Well, I mean, that's not as unusual as you think it would be when you remember how well Ron Paul did with the youth. This isn't new to this election. It's just that the left wasn't.
Yeah, true that. Also, let me just jump right back in there to correct myself. Like, I'm not being an ageist. It doesn't matter that he's 74. I mean, Trump is 69, the exact same age as Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton looks like he's 74, and Trump looks like he's in his 50s. Go ahead.
This isn't new to this election. This has been going on with the youth for a while. And I think it's something you're going to see going on with the youth in the future. If you wonder what I'm doing, I'm looking up looking up the divorce on my phone. I think the most important thing that you can do with Hillary, the most important thing you can remember, is that Benghazi in Libya was a country with flaws. But Muammar Gaddafi already got what my friend Chris says, the bricks slapped off of him by Reagan. Gaddafi had not been a problem for a long time. Gaddafi, while not necessarily one of the great men of human history or anything, was a very good leader in terms of keeping the many sides of warring Islam away from each other. The Christians were allowed to have their area. They were given rights, etc., etc. And what you're going to find is, I'm on air doing a show. You'll have to call me back. What you're going to find is you have to focus on Hillary taking out one of the leaders that was running what was known as the Jewel of Africa. You had free. I'm not a socialist, but this is what Gaddafi had working. You see what a mess Syria was in. I mean, even before Bashar Assad, even before that, you see Syria's mess. See Ethiopia's mess. You see Iran, and you know what Libya had? Libya had free healthcare for everyone. Libya had a certain amount of money. You may have had to have been Muslim, I don't remember. A certain amount of money that was given to you when you got married. You were not allowed to harm somebody else. Sunnis could not harm Shiites. Shiites could not harm Christians. Christians could not deface churches. They all got along under him. If you don't believe me, look it up. You don't have to believe me. I'm just a guy talking with a cold. I'm amazed you're still listening. But look it up.
He would kill terrorists.
What you're going to find out is I'm right here. And that she leveled this country. She destroyed their culture and got a lot of innocent Americans hurt and tangled into a mess, and in some instances killed in the process. That's the kind of leadership you're going to get from Hillary.
And she also had continued, while Secretary of State, to put lives at risk by having human intelligence and SAP, special access programs, on her private server. Information that should only be between, the most secure channels and the most firewall protected type environments. I mean, the State Department repeatedly suggested that she have a government issue BlackBerry and use a .gov account, and Huma Abedin, Hillary and Huma, lesbian affairs. Look at that. Okay. Huma, her husband Anthony Weiner had a documentary come out at Sundance this week that chronicles all of sexting. Did you see that?
Yes, I was going to report on the Wiener, and my brother's nickname is Wiener, so every possible Wiener joke that you can imagine has been used. But yes, please talk about it, because I was very impressed when I heard about what they did.
Well, I only briefly saw that they perhaps had cut out some of the Hillary involved stuff, but Weiner and Huma were at Bill and Hillary Clinton's wedding. I don't know if Donald Trump was, excuse me, the other way around. Bill and Hillary were at Huma and Anthony's Weiner's wedding. But I don't think Donald Trump was invited. But the Clintons went to Donald Trump's wedding. And there's a lot of talk about that. I don't know. Basically, we all know the Anthony Weiner story. His name is Weiner. He had his Wiener out and was sexting some bimbo and was doing a bunch of sex chat like he just fucking got on the internet for the first time back in 1998. I don't know what else to tell you guys. I mean, I remember sex chatting back in the 1990s. I remember when I drank my first beer. Anthony Weiner, fucking sexting. Anyways, also this week, the National Review just yesterday put out a whole entire article with conservatives, in quotes, like Glenn Beck and Bose and Bozel and all these other bozos, called Against Trump. The entire issue was dedicated to trying to say that Trump's not conservative and to try to bring him down. And did you hear anything about that? I think it was a little bit too little too late. And I just can't wait to watch their heads explode as well. Sam, what do you think?
Everyone's going to go after Trump because, I mean, he's Goliath. They're going to have to team together if they're going to even try to take him down. And while I am not against Trump and I could see myself voting for him, I'm still torn between him and Johnson. Don't know if Johnson's going to get it yet. A number of variables that I've gone into in this show before as to whether or not I'll vote for him. But I like him and I'm open to the idea. I want him attacked. I want him given hell. I want him chased, hounded, and lied about. Because if he can't handle that, then he shouldn't be president. I want him to go through it. Because if he can make it out of this, that's gonna happen. You know,
but I think it was stupid of them to do this because Trump has actually already proven that when he's attacked, he fucking attacks back 10 times harder, destroys your shit. And in the article I read today, go ahead for a second, Sam. I'm trying to find it here.
The thing with Trump is going to be everyone's saying he has no experience. He has no experience. He's going to go ahead and bring somebody on that has a lot of experience.
Political experience. No. Political experience is what you're talking about here, Sam. Because he's never been a governor. He's never been a senator.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's going to pick someone like that. But I want to give a side note here. You were talking about him being attacked. I want to put this out there for listeners, and they'll understand, I think, what I mean here. When Serenity joined the band Passive.
And yet, John Heilman, I read an article in the Week yesterday that said the establishment's fractured.
Your tab. What we did to Serenity, she'd never been on stage before, never been in a band before. We would give her lyrics, and we would throw things at her. We would tell her she sucked, no matter how good she did. We would boo her. We would try to mess her up. We would insult her. We would do anything, because it doesn't happen often, but once in a blue moon, you get a crowd with some balls, and it ends up like a crazy show. Fortunately, that's very rare. But we trained her to not be distracted or thrown off her game by anything. And I think that needs to happen to Donald Trump before he gets his job, too. It needs be, as my grandmother used to say. It needs be.
So Macy's and the immigration comments and the ban on all Muslims, all that incoming fire wasn't enough for you yet, Sam?
I want to see if he can come through this hell with a smile on his face, because if he can't handle Hillary Clinton's lies, he can't handle Putin's nuclear missiles.
Oh, come on, Sam. I think he's been handling it all quite well.
I do too. I just said, but I don't want them to let up on it. No, I want him to fully grasp the job that he is about to have, because I do think he has a good chance of winning. A damn good chance of winning.
All right, well, that's reasonable enough for me. Okay, last night, National Review. Say again?
I might help him win. I'm open to the idea. I used to say never. I'm now open to it.
Okay, well, so you can't count yourself as one of the possibly converted. We'll have to wait and see. Last night, National Review published articles from 20 conservative intellectuals. So it wasn't just Glenn Beck. There was 20 of them. All together against Trump. This afternoon, publisher Jack Fowler sent this letter to friends of the magazine. Dear friend, today is a big day for National Review. Our editors have made a very forceful defense of conservatism, of principle, and against the politics of attitude in our editorial against Trump. We have received angry phone calls and please cancel my subscription demands. One in particular broke my heart. Well, can you link to that? Well, let's hope time heals. None of this was unexpected. They knew it was going to happen. But we have also received very strong expressions of support from many National Review friends, people who believe they are right to believe this, that the main reason National Review exists is to do the very thing it is doing today, defending conservative principle. Well, I mean, just like Sarah Palin said in her stump for Trump, who are these people to say that they're conservative and Trump's not? or DLAKE's not. I mean, there's people saying, oh, DLAKE, you support Donald Trump? You're a fucking low-grade moron, a fucking idiot, no schooling experience, no higher education. I have higher education. That I'm just a white, inbred, fucking redneck, fucking racist. You know, I just believe everything the demagogue tells me. It's not like that. It's not like that. I see the big picture. And you can go back and watch all our videos. I've been down for Trump since the very beginning. You can go back and watch videos before he announced a couple years ago, and I was in support of him running when he was flirting with the idea back in 2012. DLAKE, I call this shit, man. And I was for Ron Paul in 2012 and 2008.
Me too. Yeah.
For me to shift to Donald Trump, I was one of the first people that came out and said, hey, I was a Ron Paul supporter. Now I support Donald Trump. A lot of people were like, what? You're fucking crazy. But now a lot of those same people are coming around. A lot of them are still in Rand's camp. I mean, as a result of having been for Ron Paul, having been for Ron Paul, now they're for Rand Paul. Sarah Palin, in her stump for Trump, her endorsement, said that she had previously endorsed Tea candidate type Tea Party guy, Rand Paul, in his bid to become the senator in Kentucky that he won. But stumping for Trump, she said, good people like Rand Paul need to stay in the Senate. She essentially said he needs to just forget trying to be president, stay in the Senate, so when Donald Trump's elected, we have your smart mind in the Senate, someone who says things that he opposed the war in Iran just like Donald Trump did back in the day. And we all know that Rand Paul supports a lot of measures on like the NSA, drones, spying on the American people. And we need his voice in the Senate to help propel Trump's agenda if he is the winner. How do you feel about that?
I think that's going to be expected. I wanted to say, you were talking about people being won over to Trump. I have found out why. Those who care about logic and reason do want Trump. They say Trump has no substance. Trump lays out, if you listen to his speech, exactly what he's going to do and how he's going to do it. It is not populist rhetoric. He has ideas and he has ways to implement those ideas and ways to make them a reality. The thing I'm finding with people that don't like Trump, I work with a gentleman who said he never guessed in a million years that I would like Trump. He could guess Rand and Johnson, but never Trump. And he said, but you got to realize what this country needs is free health care. Well, we need a lot of things. That doesn't mean that we can afford it. People are voting for Bernie based on what they're accusing Trump of. They're voting for Bernie based on what the country needs, not what the country can afford. And it is not Trump that is getting the emotional vote. It is Trump that is getting the logical, reasonable, intelligent vote. It is Sanders that is getting the emotional, touchy-feely, oh, we need this vote. And I like when they play that against Trump because it's not the case. It's simply not the case.
I really like that line of thinking, Sam. Can go ahead and expand on that a little bit?
Well, it's going to be an issue where they're going to keep doing this. They're going to keep saying the thinking man wants the politician with experience. What's their experience led us to? Hillary, the Clinton legacy, a ruined country, a ruined Libya. Her husband's legacy, nuclear trade secrets from Los Alamos given to China. What's Bernie Sanders got to do? Bernie Sanders is one of the people in Congress who put us in this mess. The same argument, I guess, could be made for Rand Paul, but when you look at his voting record, you can find that that's not the case. Rand hasn't brought us here. A lot of times Rand is on the side of liberty and he gets voted down, but he didn't bring us here. We were brought here by these people. Not necessarily O'Malley to such a big degree, but he's not going anywhere. So, I mean, what has Sanders and Clinton brought us that would make you vote for them? They don't give me this. We need this. So, no, what? I don't give a damn what we need. What is making you vote for that? And they can't answer that.
Are you in any way surprised? Sorry, Sam. Are you in any way surprised that Martin O'Malley hasn't picked up more votes? I mean, he's just not good in the debates, and just like no one.
My favorite was Wells or whatever it was, the pro-gun Democrat. He was in the first debate.
Oh yeah, Jim. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
He was the only Democrat that I liked. He was the only one, and I wasn't doing backflips over him, if you remember. But he didn't make me nuts. He was a Democrat that you could work with. Well, there's no room for that kind of Democrat, the Democratic Party anymore, and they mowed right over it. And he was the best Democrat for the job. If you had to pick a Democrat, he was the best one. They hosed him.
He is, to my knowledge, still contemplating a independent run. We'll have to see. And Bloomberg is also talking about exploring an independent run. The establishment is getting very frightened of Trump, and then they're trying to say he's going establishment. Here's some pictures of Palin from her personal photo album on the trail with Donald Trump in his. Looks like that's a picture of him in his private jet.
And he's poisoned Dr. Coke. Shame on him.
Yeah. There they are with somebody. Mary Fallon. They're checking out their poll numbers. There they are with T.W. Shannon.
Who's that?
He's a former Speaker of the Oklahoma House of Representatives and a bold, refreshing candidate for U.S. Senate that Sarah Palin supported in 2014. TW gives us hope for the future. These women, small business needs you. There's a good picture. You can see get an idea of the size of the crowd in Tulsa as Sarah Palin is speaking. Donald Trump, this was the second day of her stumping for Trump. There he is waiting in the wings. You can tell by his awesome hair. It was huge. The crowd was huge. There's Trump. And there's Sarah Palin's husband, Todd. An attractive gentleman. He's like, I love nailing this chick. I love when she wears I love
Rand Paul's haircut. They have the same barber. I'm sure of it.
He loves when Sarah Palin wears all that black leather.
Oh, she's
Look at him. They're all giving the thumbs up. You betcha. You betcha. Sam, it's time to stop pussyfooting around. Donald Trump is the only one ballsy enough. That's what she said. Did you watch her stumping for Trump or her endorsement?
Yes.
Yeah, Sarah Palin. She's like, we need to stop pussyfooting around. You betcha. I don't know. I like her voice. She's pretty hot for an old lady.
Well, here's what's funny. My wife said that she liked Palin as long as she didn't talk. She hates her voice. That's funny.
Yeah, she's good on mute. Sam, what do you say we segue into some Sam Science news? I think we spent a lot of time on the politics of what's happening, what's happened this past week, what we're all sort of looking forward to when voting begins in the first caucus state of Iowa, followed just a couple days later by voting in New Hampshire, where Trump and Sanders both have giant leads. Then we go to South Carolina, then we go to Nevada, then we go to what's called the SEC, which is a bunch of states. Moving, towards Super Tuesday, all that. Florida is a winner-take-all state. Shit is going to pop off and get really real in the next couple of weeks. So make sure that you come back every Saturday at this same time to hear us talking about it. Sam, let's segue into your science news. I know you have two stories today. One is very intriguing, and a lot of people are talking about it. And the other we're going to get through rather quickly, you said. But let me not be the one to say what we're going to talk about. Let's just get to your Sam Science news. Here we go. Sam Science. Yeah, it's the science.
DLAKE for PREZ has nailed it. I'm going to suggest that DLAKE does his magic and just nobody wants to look at my sick face. They can go ahead and go find pictures for you. Listen to this, friends. This, in my opinion, is going to be the most exciting news from the science front that I have done in maybe ever. I am very, very excited about this. Ninth planet may have been discovered. Researchers say that has since been, it is discovered. It's been updated on the 21st. Nibiru, Planet X, whatever. Now, before I get into this, Alex Jones was saying that it was a huge, huge planet. Somebody in his comment line said that that wasn't true. And I have heard that it's a gas giant. I've heard other people say it's not. So this is definitely evolving as we go. I'm giving you CNN because I don't want to go to, while I'm not a big fan of CNN personally, I think it's going to carry weight where people listening to this are going to understand that this is not science fiction anymore. You might have a replacement, Pluto. There could be another planet in our solar system. I like that they call it a planet. Researchers at the California Institute of Technology have found evidence in the outer solar system of an object that could be the real ninth planet. Now, again, there could be as many as 50 planets. We don't know. So, I mean, that's irrelevant. But they have found a ninth one. The one that everyone has been saying for literally since the days of the Mayas exists. It moves close, and sometimes you can see it. And then it moves far away for thousands of years, and you can't see it, and it becomes called a legend again. It'll probably happen thousands of years from now, but we have found this damn thing. Nicknamed Planet 9, it has a mass of about 10 times that of Earth and orbits about 20 times further from the sun than Neptune. Neptune is the next to the last planet, depending on how they rotate. Sometimes Neptune is the last planet, not Pluto. Because for those of you watching, they spin this way, and every once in a while, the other one ends up further out. What that means in this context, friends, is it would take this new planet between 10,000 and 20,000 years to make one full orbit around the sun, according to Caltech. Now, the interesting thing to note here is it's about 20,000 years ago that we believe the predictions of this particular planet had everybody in a buzz. Researchers Konstantin Batygin and Mike Brown haven't actually seen the planet, but other research helped lead them to conclude that there is one. Basically, they found that certain objects in the Kuiper Belt, the field of icy objects and debris around Neptune, had orbits that peculiarly pointed in the same direction. Over time, mathematical modeling and computer simulation led them to the conclusion that the planet was exerting the gravity necessary to shape these orbits. Brown says that they have only seen 2 true planets discovered since ancient times, and this could be the third. It's a pretty substantial chunk of the solar system that's out there waiting to be found, and it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it is.
So basically, what I had, of all people, I had a flat earther find me on my website.
I've been seeing that a lot lately, too.
And gave this notion that the idea that we have planets in the solar system took away from the majesty of God. It's an argument I've never understood, because I wouldn't care whether or not we were on a rhombus. When you look into the heavens, regardless of if you believe the Earth's flat, it's triangle, round, there are amazing things in the sky. And I'm giving a shout out to this guy because he was quite adamant about how he believes that everything in space is a lie. And it's interesting because I hadn't realized that the flat earth people were actually serious. But I wanted to close out the story saying they found a planet that many people have always given religious ties to. And that's why I mentioned this is
Sam, real quick, because I've been getting a lot of flat earth posts on my Facebook and stuff too. And if the earth is flat, okay, that's your theory. Great. Where are the fucking edges? Where's the edge? Show me the edge of the planet.
What happens if you pick one direction and fly? You either hit a glass dome or it's not flat. That was the argument I gave the gentleman, to which he didn't reply.
You come back to where you started from.
And then you have to be round.
Okay.
And that's what I think is funny. But in any event, I think it's interesting because you have all these people now that are believing so many different things. that actually finding planet X, as it were, knowing that the size is accurate, the rotation is accurate, why is this most magical, amazing of news not on the front page of each and every article, magazine, newspaper, and news report everywhere?
And if the Earth is flat the Earth is flat in this drawing, but the Moon and the Sun are both round. So how does that work? Every other planet that we see looks round, but we're flat.
Flat, and it gives out its own heat. Some people believe they can see through it. They believe the Moon is a disk.
Okay, thank you.
But in any event, my point is, you have people that really don't care somehow that up there in the sky is something that has not been seen in 20,000 years.
Up there in the sky, planet X. And so some people, this is the planet that some people call Nibiru, Nibiru, however you want to say it. And do you have any theories about the Anunnaki?
Well, I know one thing for sure. That planet could probably get close enough to us to hurt us. But if it's 10,000 times the size of Earth, trust me, it has not hit Earth. Even being a gas giant, if it were, that would obliterate. Earth would be gone, like a postage stamp under a semi-truck.
Have any inhabitants, the Exians, have they been to our planet?
Yeah, they're the people that are voting for Bernie.
They're the Bernie supporters, the Exians.
Yes, I believe so wholeheartedly.
And what was your second story in science, Sam?
I was giving this out for all of you with your New Year's resolutions. Are you falling off of your New Year's resolution? I'm gonna make it quick, friends. A little bit lighthearted. You'll like it. Forget paleo, 5-2 and Atkins. Personalized diets based on your gene will be available within 5 years. For serial dieters, of course, they mention all the fad diets, so I'm not going to read them on my drive. The holy grail of dieting could be within reach, experts believe, and it's known as precision weight loss. And they say that personalized diets will be available by the end of the decade. The reason I wanted to go ahead and mention this story is because, shout out to Steve Grant. He's a rapper and he's a dietitian, and he's been walking around and going to schools for years telling people that your genes will alter what it is that you should eat. It will alter your diet. It will change the way you feel. And I admit I haven't done it yet, but he's talked about it. You don't have to wait. They're just now admitting that this is true. And that's my point to covering. I don't care if you're fat or not. My point to covering it is all the things that we laughed at, or not us, but all the things that were laughed at in the naturopathic circles and the all-natural circles are now being admitted by science, because so many of us see it work. Like this cold, I'm miserable right now. This cold will not be here in a matter of days. It's gone. I will vitamin it away. This stuff isn't being laughed at anymore. So, I mean, if you're one of those people that do care about dieting, go ahead and get a hold of Steve Grant. But I had to give him a shout out here real quick, because he was right. And he was right years ago. At least half a freaking decade ago, maybe longer. And guess what? Daily Mail, genes. The diet's based on your genes, the way that you eat, what you should eat, how you should eat. It's not the same for everyone. That, friends, is your news from the Science Front.
Great, Sam. I just wanted to point out real quick on a Google search for Steve Grant rapper. Third picture that comes up, there's me right there. Bottom left-hand corner on a Google Hangout with Kyle Phillips, Anthony Court, and, of course, Steve Grant with his anonymous companion homeboys in the background there wearing Guy Fawkes masks. There's a picture of the rapper Steve Grant. He's a great guy.
He's a good
nutritionist, guy. Also a nutritionist, as you mentioned. Just a quick search on this page.
Thank you for clearing that up. Yes, correction. Nutritionist, not dietitian.
Nutritionist, dietitian. I mean, those could be sort of synonymous.
I have to get a degree for the other one.
Okay, that makes sense. A degree. This website says learn how to use your genetics to impact your nutritional choices. We use your DNA for a selection key genes to help you understand more about your body so you can adapt your lifestyle to your needs. Nutrition genetics, saturated fats, carbohydrates, and it gets into a sort of a breakdown. And basically, I guess you take a DNA test to see what diet would best fit your needs, Sam. So this website looks like they are actually taking monetary advantage of your advice. I don't know if Steve Grant's involved in this website, but it was the first thing that came up. And there's Planet X. Great news from the Science Frontier, Sam.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sam, did you have anything in entertainment? If before we get to your entertainment news and before we get to your special obituary category, the new segment on the show, because Sam, you should own a funeral parlor because motherfuckers are always dying.
I know what happens, but I always find dead people. I see dead people. I'm like that.
I see dead people.
I don't know what it is. Every time someone dies, I get the news.
Before we get to that, Sam, how do you feel about the Oscars being so white this year again, second year in a row?
Oh my God, I am so sick of hearing Will Smith whine. First of all, Will Smith, you shouldn't even got me started. First of all, Will Smith, you have Jackie Chan syndrome. Every time in every movie you're ever in, you act exactly the same way. You've been in like 2 movies where you don't just play the same part, the same role, the same, oh shucks, we all like you guy. We're sick of it. Quit your damn whining. We didn't like your movie. Get the hell over it. America accepted you a long time ago. Get off the race shit. You're being an idiot, and you're going to lose all of us that ever liked you, bringing this crap up after you've been accepted for years. Second of all, straight out of Compton.
He's been nominated before, hasn't he?
Yes, a whiny crybaby ass. Yes, he has. And straight out of Compton. To hell with Straight Outta Compton. Those of us who don't like rap hate that movie. We loved the music in our country until these boneheads came and talked about how cool it was to beat your girlfriend and sell drugs. They have ruined American culture. They have ruined American nightclubs. They have ruined every aspect of everything their music has touched. Rap was good before NWA. Let me finish. Eazy-E was a piece of human filth that slept with people when he knew he had AIDS and didn't tell anybody. NWA can go to hell. No, they shouldn't get a Grammy. They should be spit on. The only one I have any respect for at all is Ice-T. They are rotten, scummy, rotten people. Hell no, you don't get an Academy Award. We hate you.
I think they have won Grammys. I'm not sure, but I grew up on NWA, man. So I'm not gonna go where you went because I was here in Southern California during the rise of NWA, and I like that music. Well, that's your personal opinion, dude.
No,
but the movie, I haven't even seen the movie yet. So do I know if it should win an Academy Award? No, I do not.
When did it become based on color? They didn't have the best movies and they didn't get nominated. It had nothing to do with color. Whine and cry and bitch and moan. DLAKE, they must not have given you and I the victory at InfoWars because they don't like beards and white people. They don't like beards and white people. So Alex Jones didn't pick us to win.
It was definitely your long hair definitely ruined it for you. Ruined your chances there. Your white skin. You need to work on your tan, Sam. That's your problem. Anyways, how dare you talk shit about NWA? Well, that's fine. That's your personal opinion. I believe in freedom of speech as much as the next guy. I do agree with you that Ice-T is, probably of a higher caliber. They thought his wife was that the president of whatever. Anyways, with the bikini pictures, forget about it. Will Smith, funny that you mentioned Will Smith. Yeah, he's got a big problem with the Oscars being so white, and so does his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith. Jada, who was on Gotham, and Will Smith, who's going to be in the new movie Suicide Squad playing Deadshot. And the DC comic book universe had a special this week where they showed a brand new trailer for Suicide Squad. Jared Leto is the Joker. Harley Quinn is there. Killer Croc. El Diablo, The Enchantress, Slipknot. Did I mention Killer Croc? He looks pretty dope. Anyways, the new trailer came out. That looked great. And also, they showed some scenes from the new Wonder Woman movie coming out with Gal Gadot, and I thought that looked pretty good. And so I'm excited about all these comic book movies that are coming out, Sam. I know that's not necessarily your genre. You know, I like NWA. You don't. So
I would like to see Wonder Woman. Who's playing her?
Gal Gadot, and she'll premiere first in Batman vs. Superman as the character Diana, who is Wonder Woman, the Athenian princess, or however it goes. Magic lasso, sword, shield, warrior princess. They said she's the best fighter in the DC universe. Showed her doing like a wicked fucking like a roundhouse kick or something. Looked pretty good. Riding on a horse. I mean, that always looks good. And I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to see Suicide Squad, Deadpool. We got Deadshot, Deadpool, X-Men coming out. X-Men Apocalypse is coming out. It's leading up to the Justice League. Captain America Civil War. I mean, it's a great time to be alive if you're a sweaty nerd.
I don't know who that actress is, but I'm still looking for it.
Okay, great. Anything else you're looking forward to anything else you're looking forward to in entertainment? Oh, whoa. No. I have major entertainment news this week.
The Bureau.
You're going to really like this, Sam. Do you remember a year ago or a year or two ago on The Media Speaks in the entertainment section when we brought to your knowledge that show Black Mirror on Netflix?
Oh, say it. Tell me.
There is a new episode. It's just one episode, but it's over an hour. It's almost an hour and a half long. It's called White Christmas. I watched this week. It's with who's in there? What's his name? Ham? John Ham or Ham something? Ham Sandwich? Guy with the big cock? Swinging around. He's like, yeah, I'm John Ham. Anyways, he is in the episode Black Mirror episode called White Christmas, and it is a fucking just like the other episodes. It's a total Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
It's like what we have now as far as technology goes, but just a couple years beyond where we're at. Like if you could imagine our technology today taking us just like 4 to 5 years in the wrong direction, or however you want to say it, in an alternate universe dimension. But man, I was that was the best thing I've seen in a really long time.
Yeah, I like that.
That was the best. You have to watch it immediately.
Is Mr. Robot back? That was the only other one I ever.
Well, what else was cool is there was a scene where they were doing karaoke on the show, and the song she was singing was the same song from another episode of Black Mirror, the one where they were called 15 Million Merits, where it was kind of like an American Idol type show, but they were sort of like trapped in that world. Remember that episode where they had to ride the bicycles for the energy?
Yes.
The song that she sang is the same song that the girl sings in the karaoke scene in the new episode. So I love when shows have like references and tie-ins that the geeks will get. I really like that.
That kind of stuff's always cool.
Yeah.
Do you know if they made any new Mr. Robots? That's the only other TV show that I actually like.
Excuse me. I don't know if I've ever seen that.
Oh, it's excellent. Mr. Robot. The first
Mr. Robot?
Mr. Robot. It's amazing.
I'll have to go check that out.
It's time.
All right. R.I.P. What do we have in obituary, Sam?
Give me the spooky music, DLAKE. Eagles guitarist dies at 67. Glenn Frey, co-founder of the band, the guitarist of the Eagles, has died. They're told the cause of death was rheumatoid arthritis, acute ulcerative colitis, which is terrible. That's an intestinal disorder, and pneumonia. He was battling intestinal issues for a month and had surgery in November. And we're told the last few days his condition took a turn for the worse, and he died in New York. Of course, known for Take It Easy, Tequila Sunrise, Lion Eyes, Heartache Tonight, Hotel California, Desperado. course, he had a very huge solo career. Who could forget kick 'em when they're up, kick 'em when they're down, all of that. No more. Glenn Frey is not here anymore. He was in Miami Vice. The Eagles reunited, of course, in '94. It had a extremely expensive but very well attended tour. Released a CD called After Hours in 2012. He's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and they said that from this like Lemmy, his condition worsened over the holidays. Don Henley said, I'm saying Don Henley did the kick him when they're up. I confused the two. Let me fix that. Don Henley said he was like a brother to me. We were family, and like most families, there was dysfunction, but the bond we forged in 45 years ago will never be broken. And he added that we built something that has lasted longer than anyone could have dreamed. Glenn was one who started it all. It will be very strange going forward in a world without him in it. But I will be grateful every day that he was in my life. Rest in peace. My brother, you did what you set out to do, and that's something. Glenn was 67. Rest in peace. So, I mean,
Rest in peace, Glenn Frey. We love you. We don't want to play too much of this song, but just a little sample. Everyone knows the Eagles, Hotel California.
Hotel California is one of the greatest buildings.
On a long desert highway.
That song is a warning against Satanism, is what that is.
It's what?
Yeah, did you know
Well, I'm sorry, Sam. What is this song? A war against Satanism?
A warning against Satanism.
Oh.
How so? That's what he's talking about at the end when he says you can check out anytime you'd like, but you may never leave. I haven't had that spirit here since they were doing seances, and it's about Satanism in California. And it's a warning to stay away from it, that it will destroy your life. That's what the whole song is about.
Wasn't aware of that. Well, rest in peace, Glenn Frey.
One of the creepiest songs in rock and roll history. And one more has left. We all know we lost Bowie. Well, how many of you know Matt the Hopple, the drummer, and David Bowie collaborator, Dale Griffin, passes away. He was also only 67.
He probably died of a broken heart after Bowie passed.
Well, he probably didn't even know it. The poor man had Alzheimer's. But put this in perspective. DLAKE, if he died at 67 of Alzheimer's, then, I mean, he had to have gotten that shit really young at like 57. He had to have gotten it really young. They usually start to get it around 67 or 77, not dying of it then. Dale Griffin, founder and drummer of the British glam Stewart's Mott the Hopple, died. He unfortunately looks like Jimmy Savile. The 67-year-old musician, born Terrence Dale Griffin, passed away quietly in his sleep, according to a representative of Angel Air Records who manages the band's catalog. Speaking to the BBC, he described the Hertfordshire-born drummer as one of the nicest, friendliest, talented men I've ever known. He was survived by his longtime partner, John Smith, while his death follows a decade-long battle with Alzheimer's. 10 years ago at 57, that had to be awful. That's really young, friends. Really, really young to get Alzheimer's. A native of Ras-on-Wye, he was a founding member of Mott the Hopple, which took its name from the British novel of the 60s. It featured singer Ian Hunter, of course, and guitarist Mick Rouse. In 1972, the band scored their biggest hit with David Bowie penned and produced anthem All the Young Dudes. The group had other hit songs all the way from Memphis to Roll Away the Stone. They split up in the 70s, and Dale was working as a producer for the BBC live music sessions. And he worked with everyone. Nirvana, Smashing Pumpkins, Pulp. Hopple, of course, reformed in 2009, and Griffin was already ill, and he appeared during encores, and his place was otherwise taken by Martin Chambers. So that they worked him in as much as they could, and they brought another drummer along. That's some love there, friends. It says Stars in the Rockwood also took to Twitter to pay tribute to his death. Oh, what else can you say? I mean, he was a drummer that was.
I don't know what else you could say, Sam. Rest in peace to the drummer from David Bowie.
Passed, and
what's his name again?
Dale Griffin. Good guy.
Yeah.
Not only was he big in the 70s, but he was working with Nirvana and stuff in the 90s. And it sounds like shortly after that, in the early 2000s, he started to get sick. So he was at this for as long as he was healthy. He didn't have any.
And just real quickly, Sam, how is Keith Richards still alive?
Genes.
Genetic diet, maybe?
Genes, yeah.
The genes? All right, great. Sam, where can everyone find us?
Oh, you can find us at the youtube.com/thecorrectviews. You can also find the correct views on Tumblr. And nobody's on Tumblr ever at all, ever. So make sure you join it. Me and you can be the only two people on it. And
I know sometimes I feel like we're the only two people left on the internet. So if anyone, because we had some viewers today, if you'd like to be part of our show, get in contact with us. Find us on Facebook, find us on Google+, find us on the internet, and say, hey, look, I have a lot of commentary and good stuff to offer. And when DLAKE says, hey, what do you think about it? You want to say something? Fucking write it in the comments, get in contact with us, be on the show. All you need is a webcam and a mic. Jeez, it can't be that fucking hard. Unless you're too busy, unless you're getting married, unless you don't like the idea of what we talk about. Like apparently some people who used to be on the show, but they're not here anymore. So now we need new people. So be part of our show, right, Sam?
we work hard on the show. We do the show when we are sick with the flu, the day of our birthday party, because it matters. Pour juice on your chin.
Thank you.